Hi, everybody. Dan Ullman, Matt Bernier, the DRF.com Formulator Race of the Day for Sunday, June the 25th. This is race number 9 at Santa Anita. We're going a mile and a 16th. This race is for fillies and mares, and it's a stake. Let's take a look at the field for the Southern Truce Stakes. Head on over to the Race of the Day event page on DRF.com. Download free Formulator past performances and handicap along with us in post-position order. Matt, the number 1 is That's a Lady, only 1 for 14 lifetime. She has burned a lot of money in the entry-level optional claiming ranks, and now she steps up in class.
You know, the interesting thing for me anyway about this race was it was more a matter of who do I hate the least as opposed to who do I actually like, because she goes up in class, but is it some giant move up in class? The problem is any sort of slight move up is going to make it that much more difficult for her, and she's already had difficulty finding the winner's circle as is.
She has one fig, that 86 buyer from last fall at Santa Anita, that would put her in the mix. The problem is she's run 5 times since then. She's been 9-2 or less in each one of those races, and she hasn't won any of them. She's going to need a little bit of pace up front.
I don't think her running style does her any favors either, being in Southern California. I don't think there's a ton of gas in this race. I think there will be a fair enough pace, but I don't think it's going to be something blistering, and I think that hurts her chances.
I wouldn't argue with anyone that likes the number 2, Lady Tappet, in this spot, because there are several angles. One, she's moving from turf to dirt. She's making her 3rd start of the form cycle. And most importantly, just look at the company lines she's been keeping recently on dirt. She's been taking on Vale Dory in her last 3 starts, when her connections quite understandably tried to get all-important graded stakes black type. As a daughter of Tappet, that would make her an invaluable broodmare. This is a very nice spot for her dropping in class.
You know, and we talk about the graded stakes black type. At this point, any stakes black type is important. So I think that's part of the reason. But she does fit in here. She has the class lines, like you say. There are no Vale Dories or Finest Cities in this race. And if you look at those races 3 and 4 starts back, from a buyer standpoint, the mid-80, that's probably pretty darn close to good enough to win here. I don't love the recent form, and I know it was against much better, but you know, the turf experiment, to me, there's just enough in here that I don't want her.
The number 3 is Shenandoah Queen, and she is a true X-Factor, now under the tutelage of John Sadler. Looks like a private purchase from Ronus Racing. This horse has won 3 out of her last 4 races in her last 2 starts on dirt, and perhaps most importantly, she has a little bit of speed. Her buyers are a little light, but she's so lightly raced, maybe a step forward is coming.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing. She is very lightly raced. She is a little bit on the slow side, and the other thing that's a little more interesting, the highest buyer of her career by far came on turf. So I don't know what she really is. Is she a dirt horse or a turf horse? This is a very confident move, though. I know we're not talking about this stakes race as though it's, you know, no one's going to mistake this for a grade 1, but this still is a confident move for these guys.
The number 4 is Street Surrender, and Jerry Hollendorfer has Street Surrender in excellent form. She has won 3 out of her last 5 races, a runner-up in her 2 most recent starts. It appears she'll run hard on dirt, synthetic, turf, you name it, and she's bringing figs to the party, her last 2 87s.
You know, she is going to be always one of those head-scratchers for me, because you and I both thought in her first 2 starts that she was going to be something. Her debut was really impressive. And then she just went off the rails, and she just lost all of her form, and slowly but surely. I think sending her to Northern California did a lot. Kind of get the confidence back. You bring her down to Southern California. I've never been a big fan of Faithfully, the horse that she was well beaten by last time. If she runs the Santa Lucia, maybe she wins. Maybe that's good enough. At a shortish number, I'm going to play against.
It really seems like she's improved when they've stretched her out.
Yeah.
Sort of like this resurgence in her career, a mile or beyond. I was a little bit disappointed by the lack of finish last time out on June the 4th, where she had a decent trip, she eased out, she had every chance, and she just seemed to be flattening out a little bit late. But again, her buyers put her in very good stead. This young jockey's going to have a time of it, though.
Sure.
She can be a little bit hard to ride. She was pulling Mike Smith for the first half mile last time out, so hopefully he's on his toes. But I do like Street Surrender's versatility, and obviously she fits on figs. Let's see what the Timeform US Pace Projector has in store for the Southern Truce Stakes. Not an extremely fast pace, but perhaps contested. The number 5 Nickname, who is the class in the race, arguably the horse to beat, might be setting the fractions.
You know, the thing for me, I have never, ever thought this horse was a 2-turn horse. I think she has a little bit of talent. I like what they did with her once she went to Southern California. Get her on the turf. I don't think she wants any part of the distance. Now, maybe she's better than these horses, and that's all that it takes, but she's another one at a short price. I don't want her.
I don't want her at a short price, and I'm against her in this race. I mean, she obviously has the class line. She's a Grade 1 stakes winner, although that was around 1 turn at Belmont over a wet track as a 2-year-old. She ran 3rd in that 8 bells, and she hopped back to her left lead late, and the next thing you know, she's gone, and then she returns, and they're putting her on the turf. There just seem like a lot of negatives, but maybe she'll control the pace in here. And she does have a Dick Mandela formulator fact that's extremely positive. Let's take a look at Nickname. Past 5 years, turf to dirt off this kind of layoff with older runners, 33% and a $4.73 ROI. If she isn't ready to handle this distance, as we saw from the Timeform US Pace Projector, perhaps the number 6 Desert Madam is the one that's going to take control of this race, because she's always had wonderful tactical speed. She's a hard-hitting older mare that wants to beat you, and you know I'm Bill Sparr's biggest fan.
She's just one of those cool horses that you know what you're going to get. She's going to show up and try. She's going to give you everything she's got. Sometimes good enough, sometimes it's not. This position at face value, a stakes race, may be a little bit ambitious, but when you go through and sift through the race, maybe it's not that ambitious. Her best races certainly put her in there. You brought up Bill Sparr. Past year, dirt winner, last out, second off the layoff, 3 for 6, 433 ROI. I also love the versatility. Like you say, if it's given to her, she'll go to the front. If there's a horse for a target, she'll sit just off to.
And maybe she'll be ignored a little bit in the windows because she is stepping up in class, although this is not the strongest stakes field in the world. It looks like a good spot for a horse that really came back firing last time out. Let's take a look at our picks for the $75,000 Southern Truce Stakes. Desert Madam is your top selection. Street Surrender's got the fast races. She's versatile for Hollendorf. I'm hoping she can tuck in right behind the speeds.
Yeah, I went 6-4 in here. I think these are the two horses, especially... I think you and I are both in agreement. We're just against Nickname. We don't want her in here, whether she's the favorite or she's the second choice. She's going to be short. 6-4 for me.
If you are playing the Sunday Santa Anita card from home, please sign up to DRF Bets, because new subscribers can access a $300 bonus right away. It's very easy. All you have to do is head over to drfbets.com/VIP and become a new DRF Bets subscriber. Approximate post time for race number 9 at Santa Anita on Sunday, the $75,000 Southern Truce Stakes, 5 o'clock Pacific. Good luck.